Something interesting happened when people hit age 65. For decades, it's been about the number we all aim for, the magic age when life finally slows down, when work ends, and retirement begins. You picture it clearly, the freedom to travel, relax, and finally enjoy the life you've been building towards since your 20s. But then 65 arrives, and instead of feeling calm, you feel unsettled, because that moment, the one that you thought would feel like the finish line, actually feels like the start of something you don't fully understand. Your paycheck stops, Social Security's decisions start, Medicare kicks in with more complexity than anyone warned you about. And all the systems that carried you through your working years, your salary, your employer benefits, your 401k suddenly turn into a puzzle you have to solve on your own. That's why so many people who reach age 65 find themselves saying, wait, I thought I was ready for this. And it's not because they didn't save enough. It's because no one ever told them how different life at 65 really feels. Hi, I'm Tracy Schaaf, Certified Financial Planner at Sterling Shire Investments. And I can tell you, after helping hundreds of clients navigate this exact stage, turning 65 is when retirement finally stops being about saving and starts being about structure. It's a moment when your decisions about income, Social Security, Medicare, and taxes all start interacting with each other in ways that can either strengthen or quietly erode your financial security. If you're approaching 65 and want clarity on how to transition smoothly, you can book a quick call using the link below. We'll look at how your income, benefits, and taxes fit together and make sure your plan actually works in real life, not just on paper. Now let's talk about what really happens at age 65 and why for most people it's the most misunderstood turning point in retirement. Number one, the paycheck stops and everything feels different. For decades, your financial life ran on autopilot. Every 2 weeks, money came in, your bills got paid, your savings grew. Then at age 65, that rhythm stops, and suddenly you become one responsible for creating your own paycheck. That shift from earning to withdrawing is one of the hardest transitions people make, because you go from how much I can save to how much I can safely spend. And the truth is, it's not a simple switch. Every withdrawal you take affects your taxes. Your taxes affect Medicare premiums. Your income affects your Social Security taxation. All these moving parts interact, and if they're not coordinated, they can quietly drain the wealth you spent a lifetime building. That's why the first step at age 65 isn't about investing more. It's about building a system for steady, predictable income that lets you replace your paycheck confidently. Number two, Social Security starts to matter, but so does timing. For many Americans, age 65 feels like a natural time to file for Social Security, but that decision can have lifelong consequences. You can claim as early as age 62 or delay it until age 70, and the difference between those two choices can easily add up to hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. Here's what most people don't realize. The best time to take Social Security isn't about your birthday, it's about your strategy. It depends on your savings, your health, your spouse's benefits, and your broader tax picture. For example, claiming early might make sense if your income sources are limited, but if you have other assets to draw from, delaying can significantly increase your guaranteed income later. Social Security isn't just a benefit, it's a coordinated income lever that needs to fit within your total retirement plan. And that's where most people go wrong. They treat it like a separate decision instead of part of a system. Number three, Medicare begins, and so does the confusion. Most people think Medicare at age 65 is simple. You enroll, and your health care gets easier. In reality, it's one of the most complicated financial decisions you'll ever make. You've got Part A, Part B, Part D, Advantage plans, Medigap policies, each with different rules, coverages, and costs. Miss the enrollment window? You could face penalties for life. Pick the wrong plan? You could end up paying thousands more out of your pocket later. And here's the part no one warned you about. Your Medicare premiums are tied to your income. It's called IRMAA, the Income-Related Monthly Adjusted Amount. If your income crosses certain thresholds, even from investment withdrawals, your Medicare costs can jump significantly. So at age 65, your financial plan and your healthcare plan have to start talking to each other, because a tax decision made in January could raise your Medicare premium the following year. That's the kind of detail most retirees miss until it's too late to fix. Number 4, taxes change shape, but they don't disappear. There's a dangerous assumption that taxes go down when you retire. And for some people, that's true. But for many high earners, it's exactly the opposite. Here's why. Your salary stops, but your taxable income does not. Every time you take money out of a 401k or your traditional IRA, it's fully taxable. Your Social Security can also become taxable once your income crosses certain limits. And then, at age 73, the IRS forces you to start taking required minimum distributions, also called RMDs, whether or not you need the income. All that can push you into a higher tax bracket and increases your Medicare premium right along with it. So the years between 60 and 70, especially right around age 65, are your tax planning window. It's your chance to control the timing and source of your income before the IRS does it for you. That's where strategies like Roth conversions, tax-efficient withdrawals, and coordinated Social Security timing come into play. Because your taxes don't retire when you do, they just get more strategic. Number 5, retirement becomes emotional, not just financial. By the time most people reach age 65, they spent 4 decades working, saving, and planning. But what no one really prepares you for is how emotional retirement feels. When that paycheck stops, it's not just your income that changes, it's your identity. You've been the worker, the provider, the builder. Now you're supposed to be the spender, the traveler, the enjoyer of what you built. And that switch doesn't happen easily. That's why so many retirees struggle to actually spend their savings. They feel uneasy, like every withdrawal is a mistake. But the problem isn't their savings, it's that they don't have a structured income plan that shows how their income or how their money replenishes itself over time. When you can see that flow, when you can understand how your income adjusts for inflation, taxes, and longevity, that fear starts to disappear. But the problem isn't their savings. It's that they don't have a structured income plan that shows how their money replenishes itself over time. When you can see that flow, when you can understand how your income adjusts for inflation, taxes, and longevity, that fear starts to disappear. Because confidence doesn't come from guessing, it comes from knowing. Number 6, the hidden risk of comfortable planning. A lot of people at age 65 feel comfortable. They've got savings, a paid off home, maybe even a pension. But comfort isn't the same as prepared. Prepared means your plan has been stress tested against inflation, market downturns, healthcare shocks, and longer life expectancies. Because 65 isn't the end of your financial plan, it's the start of the next 30 years of it. That's why I always tell clients, don't aim to be comfortable, aim to be coordinated. Comfort is a feeling, coordination is a plan. Number 7, why most retirees aren't ready. When people reach age 65 and still feel uncertain, it's rarely because they didn't save enough. It's because they didn't connect the dots. They focused on building pieces, Social Security, 401ks, Medicare, and investments without integrating them into one system. That's what makes the difference between having wealth and feeling secure. When everything works together, when your income, healthcare, taxes, and investments all move in sync, that's when retirement finally feels stable. It's not about perfection, it's about clarity. If you're approaching age 65 and want that kind of clarity, not just a snapshot, but a strategy, you can book a short call using the link below. We'll walk you through your retirement coordination plan step by step so you can feel ready for what is next, not anxious about it. Turning 65 is one of the biggest transitions of your financial life, and it's not a moment to fear, but to plan around. Because in reality, 65 isn't the end of your working years, it's the beginning of your freedom years. But freedom doesn't come from guessing, it comes from understanding. When your plan is clear, your income is structured, and your taxes are under control, that's when retirement finally starts to feel like what you imagined all along. If you want a second opinion on your plan, book a time with me using the link in the description below. Because real retirement confidence doesn't come from a number, it comes from clarity.